you have a new name alongside Immortals. KNG has taken the spot of Phoenix, FNX, as he has departed from the roster. And now we get to see what shape they take as we jump into another best of one. The groups are important, especially here for Immortals. This is 0 and 2 for the Brazilians. And so picking up this win is pretty much a necessity.
Yeah, well...
Whoa, okay. Bolts takes ahead to start. And who else but Shox? What a prime suspect to remove immediately. Just keep them cut down to size. And now the T's gather, group, and they're going to be starting to throw some bodies and bullets towards that toilet area. If not, Kenny S sends them home.
Looks like a bit of a crunch towards B about to come in. You can already see, I think that was MBK responding to this, falling back to a more passive angle. Yeah, and that's really smart from MBK. He read the play so well. He allowed Apex to be almost baited into this, right? So MBK will take the attention. He actually took 2 kills with him, which is even better. And then Apex can just play out when required for the bomber if they ever overwhelm, which they did eventually. But nicely handled by G2. Immortals not able to fully execute anything or bring much through. 2 kills there coming out for them. Couple of Tech 9s, bit of armor. A lot of Tech 9s actually coming through now. Okay, so KNG gets the armor, and he's gonna just stay away from that, no worries. Of course, looking towards the AWP eventually. And the buy on the other side, quite heavy. Moving away from the UMPs, maybe that change, as much as people bitched about it, maybe actually made a difference.
It does seem to have at least hit in the initial buys after that patch. Still, here comes Shox, and very little damage taken. However, there's going to be plenty more bodies for him to deal with. It's going to be a close fight versus Steel, and the Tech 9 does thrive as we're going to be seeing Steel still alive. Kenny then has to push towards short. And again, the Pistols do pick up the win. Now 3 versus 3. And it's rifles for the retake. If they take close fights here, G2 could be in trouble. Nice spray control from the FAMAS, though.
You nerf the UMP, surely you make the pistols
Stronger?
more powerful. So do you want to go back to that meta?
Yeah, I do.
Huh.
I don't miss the Tech 9, the Tech 9 forces. You remember it was like 3 or 4 in a row?
Hey, look, if the
Were you
French
watching
side gets
Shox's
done
old
over
teams?
by it, I'm kind of happy in a way. But they didn't, of course. They did recover with 3 alive, but still.
Yeah, I remember the days when it was like, it doesn't matter what money they have, if it's over 1,500, it's a buy.
Yup.
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 But yeah, FAMAS is becoming more and more popular, and that's not because of a change to the FAMAS. That's simply the removal of the range of the UMP. It cut down almost in half for its effective range. Plenty of ways to see exactly what that means, but Pistols are back, this time without the Kevlar for Immortals. They will be going naked into this round, and KNG, he's going to have his naked body sent home. No, it's not. Henny actually gets the first blood, but this is where Kenny S just shows some serious trigger discipline. Look at that control. As he opts for a fresh magazine, he will be taken down. He departs this world for this round, and now this will be surely the end of it. Apex can't quite connect onto Henny, and it looks like it may have even be his fresh mag time. No. Henny not going down without a fight. 1 versus 2. They've actually made this quite costly.
Yeah, very much so. Considering there's no armor there.
That was nothing. That's the same amount of kills they got in the Force.
All right, but now they can go on the buy, and there's an AWP with armor for Henny, so he's now in a good position. Kenny's got it too, so this is a battle I'm so excited to see if it actually comes through. Kenny, yes, he looked good yesterday as well. He was starting to warm into it a little bit. Henny as well, once he got going, there was some real brutality to that sort of AWPing style. You know, what has he got, like 2 collaterals on Inferno? That was ridiculous. So, Kenny going to opt up towards just on long, just going to prop himself up there, and it looks like somewhat of a default coming out from the T side. You know, you've got players towards underpass, one playing passively towards B, just making sure that no one can get early info or play out of it. That's Bolts, that's perfectly fine, really nice position from him. Yeah, I think it was, I think it was Taco who got really quite famous for playing this sort of style, but I made a mistake, it might have been FNX, I'm not too sure. I think it was Taco though, but anyway, that aside.
I like how you say taco.
Because I got told off by Americans for saying taco.
Oh,
so they're like,
taco.
you have to say taco.
Ugh.
I literally got told off.
Really?
Yeah. I had a sit-down chat with these Yankee Doodles. Slow mid-take, though, going through party right now. It's very slow in building. I guess you want to try and find that information, get that real estate under your belt as fast as you can. Actually, it's forced, well, it's not necessarily forced Kenny anywhere. He's decided to go back towards A, take that all back there, maybe just take a little bit more of a play and try and support his teammate.
Yeah, you can see the amount of map control the T's have. I mean, they have 2/3 of overpass under control at this point in time. The CT's keeping this one nice and passive. Long will be Immortals. Toilets, however, is a different question because Kenny goes walking. And will only take 1. I don't think the Immortals are going to complain about that one. A 4 for 4. Walk down. Steel just lies in wait, and Apex walks into his crosshair again. And now NBK, just a FAMAS and a flash, is about to get tested.
He was that early rotate. He got hit quickly, so I don't know if they're going to expect him this, tucked in, posted up on site, but they still trade out pretty well, the T-side here. Down to 2, Shox pushes in on his own, and Lucas punishes so readily, and Body's locked out. There's no chance of getting back into this one. And to be fair, whatever Bolts did, I don't know if he stepped, made noise, because he was the one over by B. He kept 2 players dedicated towards that site, and they didn't cross out from Monster. NBK was the first rotate. He was playing over by the graffiti. He pulled himself over towards A pretty fast. I think that was when Kenny was like starting to fall back towards the site. So again, this is decent so far from Immortals, and being able to win those fights. I like the way that it was down to that 4v4, I think it was, and they knew that they could hold for a second and wait for that push up to come out from G2 because they'd want to try and trade back into this or get an advantage back. And Apex goes down. That's the key to the site. That's open. And there it was. So that worked out very nicely for them overall. 3 players standing, AWP recovered. Perfect stuff from Immortals. That's the way you want to get your gun round going.
Yeah, great work from them. The way they traded was real easy for them. Kenny will go in for that aggressive push. He felt like he didn't have anyone behind him. I mean, Apex came later. Imagine if they went together. Would have just given them that little bit of extra firepower to keep Steel down in the dumps. But here we go. UMPs will be coming out. NBK hasn't had an M4 yet. 2 FAMAS pistols. Now a UMP. But I consider this somewhat of a full buy. 2 UMPs, all these slight downgrades.
Politics on stream.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, don't we all?
Orpy Orp for Kenny. Second time we get to see that, and I do feel like he may be taking this for that aggressive long peek, something we do see Kenny do an awful lot on overpass. He's not afraid to just go for a stroll quite swiftly, but instead, yeah, he's going to be holding back, trying to jump up, trying being the operative word, and having that angle on the Orp.
To be fair though, Immortals, the way they play this out is just this very defaulted beginning. Wait to see if there's aggression, because there has been, the last couple of rounds there has been that aggressive play coming out. We saw it pushing through on Monster and Short, And I like the way Bolts plays this on B. He's keeping players dedicated towards this even with minimal presence. He's actually only got a flash left at the moment, so he's down to what he can kind of muster himself. But he does have KNG with him, who's got the bomb. So KNG needs to be a little cautious here. This could be dangerous if maybe G2 want to find information. They do go aggressive somewhere. There could be a threat on that front. But still, the 3 players on the other side for Immortals will be over, of course, by Party. Slowly taking through Toilets control again, pushing G2 right back towards the site. And G2 just trying to retain any sort of utility they can over an extended period. You've still got a couple of smokes, a couple of flashes, but not much here. But neither do the T's. Look at this. They're down to 2 flashes and 1 molly. They need to go pretty soon. Like, this is dry hit. It's going to fall back towards B. They're going to leave 1 player here. They've drawn 4 players over towards A. And now they're going to hit B. This is very well constructed. So beautifully done. And there's the kill. And even Lucas succeeding towards A. That's perfect. Shots would have to have some inhuman play, but that's not going to begin today, as it will be Immortals with a beautiful fake piece.
Lovely work from them. Their investment of nades was just so well thought out, so calculated. Bolts with an early smoke keeps attention there, invest a couple of CT nades, and then following that, you've suddenly got Molotovs in toilets, and everyone's jumping for info. They see bodies, they start seeing shots that one of your players goes down. You're going to have to rotate. There's no choice in the matter. You can't stay on one site where there's no bodies. And they start to move, and look how it works out for Immortals. 4-3 then, as they've had 4 consecutive rounds of the back of that pistol.
Gun runs thus far have been incredibly telling. Immortals do look good on this map. I was a little worried after the pistol. I was like, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
Not a nice game, but yeah, no, they look very convincing on this T side. I like the way they're playing it out. G2, you need something, right? It's either we need to retain map control, we need some avenue back into this to give ourselves a chance, because they're just playing deep on the site. They're giving up so much, and they're finding it hard to fight, I guess, at this point. Especially when, you know, Immortals are hitting shots. Like, Lucas succeeding on that solo play towards A. He was meant to be a distraction, but what a beneficial distraction he was in that last round. So we'll see if maybe G2 can change something up, switch something up, because at the moment they are being outclassed quite drastically by Immortals.
Then they are, but talking of outclass, Apex. What AK, he asks. Steel loses his investment with just 2 bullets from his CC. He could do it again. Flash makes it a whole lot more difficult. A double peek, he can't make that choice quick enough. And now Immortals keep things level. However, the CTs are stacked in the right direction this time, or at least I say that now. I think Immortals have done it again. Lauren, it's happening.
They're doing this on anti-eco, which I love. The thing is, the players in toilets are going to hear this. So they're going to be putting the heels down ahead to try and contain them, and he can't. Well played from G2 to push on that sort of information. They hear it. And I like the idea from Immortals, maybe overthinking things a little bit in these rounds and not even checking on water here. That's a problem. Now MBK is going to get early information. A shot would he even gets attacked. That's fine. He's going to soften up a little bit. But Kenny has no armor, neither does Shox. Every bit of damage is going to hurt twice as much. There it is. Lucas going to find Shox, isolate him. And there's a second find from KNG. Done, dusted. And put a lid on it, because that one is over and done. Because, well, I like the idea, but it felt almost overthought by Immortals. It was like, well, you could have just pushed through, but it got a little dangerous when you could hear them, running through past the toilets.
Doing that against the buy is always going to be a good call if you draw the players. The other problem is that, against those ecos, they're not going to be afraid to push you. They're not going to be afraid to go mad. And here comes the typical G2 response. You lose 5 rounds in a row.
But look at the response. This is a smart play from Immortals. They've gone, what's their easy go-to answer? Double up. Let's go a far side hit, negate them as best we can. But Body, he could have been up to the challenge, and Shox now has to deal with a lot of pressure coming his way. 3 players through Monster. I think one's trying to cut through short, but Shox already finds Lucas. Perfect. MBK's still here as well. Spots it out, makes the call. But Shox still doesn't worry about it. Still lands the shot. And I like the idea from Immortals, but they couldn't land the execution. And a steal on 13 HP. Now 2. Can do something heroic, and I don't see that happening.
I don't think he does either. It's going to be Apex who confirms what we may have thought. And that'll be G2 getting their first buy round of the day. 1. It's their first successful buy round they've had so far. And of course that was 5 in a row for the Brazilians.
And I just wish that, so there's that quote-unquote Astralis hit to be that everyone knows of, like the molly everywhere. There's a couple of changes as well that teams do where they do smokes instead. Yeah. But there's a lot of different ways of doing it. I'd have loved to have seen that from Immortals, like quite quick, but that's what you go for, like quite all-encompassing, and it's a heavy investment, but you got the money. But still, what we see back is a double AWP in return, so 4 AWPs up on the deck here, Alex.
That is rather naughty. Henny and KNG have it. Oh, he tags him. It's probably the best you're going to get, really, with that exchange on long. I believe it was Henny taking that shot, because you really cannot win that duel if you just walk out into the crosshair. Better angle from Kenny. And Henny lucky to be alive. Shock's taking his secondary up, quite aggressive here on Monster. It's a great angle for info. And the T's find themselves quite spread, quite sporadically positioned at this point in time. Their maneuver does seem to be directing them towards that A site, and the real question is where does that information come from? Where is the first port of call for the T side?
I think Shox just kind of took a long look down Monster, hence why he's falling back pretty heavily. And now Kenny's going to try and play in off of is that Apex over at long? I guess it is. Yeah, it is. So basically, Kenny takes the attention, Apex gets played in, MBK has to deal with this though, and that's hard, but Apex gets the job done. That's what you wanted to see if you're a G2 fan. Him holding on long, now they're pinched. Lucas, though, fights his way out from an angle he just shouldn't be able to make, but this is his fight. He's shown this before already. It's 2v2, but Lucas so low, KNG needs to get into this battle, and he does.
Perfect timing from KNG, comes and delivers when it matters, but with 20 seconds left, and Shox is going perfectly aggressive. Lucas was waiting for it, though, in that corner. He realized if that bomb goes down, the 1v2 after plant was never going to work with his AWP. He had to make it a 1v1 quickly. And you can see Lucas even scavenged away that Zeus. That was Kenny's investment.
You can drop Zeus's now.
You can, yeah. You gave me one the other day.
Yeah, nice.
Lovely little treat. But we'll
Treat
see
you
what
right,
happens
baby
here.
girl.
Yeah. G2 is sent back to the Stone Age, as you can see. Win one round, lose the following, and all of a sudden your money is in tatters. Just one easy for Apex. And the question here is not who's going to win. We know that. The question here is how many of those orbs can you keep?
All right, Alex, what would you rather have? Julies or 3 Zeuses?
3 Zeuses.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
You a big fan of Gambit?
Oh, we can see him. It's agonizing. There we go. Shox does go down, just basically accepting his fate at that point. But yeah, no, because the Zeus is right. You could just play really like horrible corners, like behind stairs underpass, in toilets, like in the, you know, the little corners they push out towards site, and you could have another one I don't even know. Monster. Just in the little corner, you know, when you surf up. And then you can see them as they come out. And that's 3 kills. I don't think... I said, Julie's getting 3 kills?
You're seeing it?
It's not that amazing.
Don't believe?
Yeah. What about you? You take the Zeus's? Have I convinced you?
All about it. You just made me believe.
Zeus life.
Zeus life. Zeus?
Dude, there's one person, I mean, he's not a professional player, but Mr. Tweeday, you'll be aware of his videos. He was a avid believer in the power of the Zeus.
He does it for the frag movies, alright? That doesn't count.
No, but he makes me sometimes believe. He holds drop with it. You can kill him when they peak drop with a Zeus. You know that in Cobble.
Really? He goes that far?
Yeah. Kill him. I didn't believe it until I saw it.
Nah.
Yeah, you just have to, you basically just jump and left click as they peak.
That's upsetting, isn't it?
Nuts.
Alright.
NUTS.
So let's put this into perspective. We have G2 currently who've won the first 3 rounds. Pistols. Very good.
Double
like
up
it.
again, they're insistent on it.
Yeah, and the last time they won, there was a double up, and that was the fast hit from Immortals, but it was a little lackluster. They kind of allowed Shox to get away with it. No one traded into it. So at the moment, I hope this is a more scripted hit towards B. It can be late. I don't really mind about the pacing, but I want it to happen. And it looks like they got that player passive in underpass. They got one like all the way back around spawn, which is basically watching the push up. Counter boost comes in, have a little peek. They could fall off this, but they're looking for an opener, and that's a given. MBK, what are you up to?
Yeah, but Shox is so ready for this. Look at that, just quite second of adjustment before taking down Bolts. Quick trade coming in from the AWP. He does back away, but he did pay quite the price. Any nades or Molotovs are now going to be his biggest fear.
Now, I want them to fall in to that hit, like that start hit. You want to take over water, put the mollies in, and push them back. You need to be able to kind of like strangle out the angles they're just very actively holding. So put the smokes up and the mollies up. No, they're getting dry. Lucas. No one's watching Monster. How's he got this far? There's 2 players so vulnerable now, and that's a huge issue. Shox will still find Henny, but Lucas is really... Oh, Shoxy. TS-Go grenades are just so well designed, Alex.
Yes, 6 HP. Oh, comedy goal. 2v2. I guess he was just behind the wall.
Yeah,
just tucked in that corner enough. And Shox's low HP could very well be the end of them. Kenny's going to catch one with York. This is the double ops they've invested in, and it looks like it could very well be finding them another win. Kenny, woof!
Lucas!
Out-aimed by Lucas, and Lucas has the bomb. He could disappear now.
He's baiting time. He's going to make Shox think, is he going A? But Shox is playing this smart. He's going to wait for that bomb plant no matter what. So this is a mental game between these two. He's going to hear the bomb go down. There it is. He's going to hear these sounds. Bomb's going. Lucas? Lucas? Oh! He's so brave! That is the gutsiest play in the world, Lucas! Oh, what are you made of? Love it.
Outrageous. What was the clock on?
It gone after time. So he faked the bomb, but he had already basically played that to like make Shocks think that was going to be A. And Lucas.
That was some
Lucas.
smart gaming. 16 kills for Lucas so far. That is
baby.
big plays. Big stuff from Lucas.
That's the big D play.
BDP.
Yeah, that's the BDP.
And that's not the first time we've seen something outrageous from him. Yes, those 16 kills tell us somewhat of the story, but the fact that every time he's gone B, he's taken 2 with him at minimum, as well as a clutch like that, he's been a real kind of linchpin in getting Immortals off the starting line here for the T side of Overpass. It's a best of 1. Let's not forget, they start on the attack and already are closing in on double digits. This could be a spectacular victory, the first of which they'd be picking up here in Dallas. Another shout out to Bolts. His score is Leet. That means you can have a really good game.
Oh, look at that English broadcast team for Epicenter, Alex. Huh. What a cool guys, right? You look 14 in that picture. Guys, if you do want to check it out and see what Alex looks like as a baby, find that announcement.
Where did they get that picture?
It's great. Little baby Alex looks adorable. Check it out. To this game. There's not a great deal actually going on in this round. We are, again, seeing the money of G2 just shattered.
Needs to have some strong words with the Epicenter team.
Young and innocent.
One time's going to be raining out. And again, mission here. Ooh, is that behind tree? Mission here is to best those Molotovs and those nades and you don't have to take fights without softening up and forcing the CTs out. That's exactly what he's got. Look, you've got your force Shocks with a USP to hunt you down, and Bolts will thrive there. I've got to deal with this.
Alex is having a little triggering just because of this lovely picture they've used. So please tell him he looks beautiful and young, actually. MBK. If I'm Bolts as the slow grind begins. They're down to 30 seconds, and again, this worries me when we see the second round hits, because this happens. Corners become a little bit tricky, and if you don't have any mollies left to clear them, you have to commit time to this. We're down to 3v3, still getting control body. I think tag comes through there, but down to MBK. Got a rifle, no armor, no utility, no kit, limited odds. There it is. Closed out by Henny. It does get me a little nervous at that point, but this T side so far from Immortals has been pretty world class. Finally a buy, not a double up coming out from G2 for once, just Kenny on that one. It still feels like they haven't really found an answer to what Immortals were doing. G2's vast majority of rounds came through the pistol. They kind of need to do that again. And, well, Immortals fancy stopping that. So, already, quite a quick hit from G2. Quality control is all theirs. Henny stays out too long, and the ding towards Bolts. This is not looking good for the Brazilian boys.
Pressure mounting, and the T's are just going to flood in. This is going to be almost impossible to stem the lead unless 2 quick kills. They have to be clean, and Lucas not particularly clean there. Just 2 very low health players. They have 10 points of health between them to win a clutch. Not realistic. G2 will get this pistol round. It's just a matter of time, really. And looks like I could be cursing him. Lucas, that was the clean kill he looked for so much earlier on in the round. Now it's just a little too little, too late. He's desperate for Shox to show just a glimpse of his butt cheek, but not going to provide. And these clean kills are just padding the stats.
Oh. I really like it when you call things and it just instantly goes wrong. I was actually saying this to Christian earlier.
What? Yeah,
I find
curse?
such joy in like any misfortune that happens to you, and I don't know why it's so specifically you. You know what I mean? Like when we're playing games and something ridiculous just happens to you. Like when Alex gets CS:GO'd, I am in rapture. Like I find it so funny.
You find it's Schadenfreude at its very worst.
Probably.
Laughing at my failures.
But it's really only you.
Yeah, I know.
I don't. Or else I feel like sympathy for him. Like, oh, unlucky, Alex. Tears.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like Lauren, I'm losing an arm. You just start giggling. NBK though takes Bolts out, and this is going to be just a quick taste of their own medicine. Let's not forget the G2 have won both pistol rounds now. G2 got the initial 3 in the first half, and that was half of their rounds actually in that first half. And so winning both pistols is a big step into winning this game. In fact, you know what the statistics suggest they should be winning this game.
Anders is listening.
Anders.
Do you remember when Anders casted?
I want to see him.
Come on, Anders.
I haven't seen the Cuddly Bear in a while.
Where are you?
He's being a dad and he's being cool.
Daddy.
Daddy does.
Daddy does.
That's
a
awesome.
nickname. That.
Daddy does.
If you get a merch line, Anders,
Yeah.
Daddy does.
Oh, could have been KNG's frag there, but a Mac 10 just put 600 in the back pocket of Shox.
Do you reckon you fit $600 in your back pocket?
Yeah. Piece
In
of
hundreds?
paper.
You only roll in hundreds,
I always roll it.
Steel, though, does recover a rifle, which is pretty decent considering that CZ will still stay with him, and I don't see anyone particularly close enough to take it away. So, Steel should be good for this one. You can see Shox on the hunt, as he only has that Mac 10, but we should be seeing this one recovered.
If I lived in America, I'd probably just work with ones. Just because you'd
Do you know
feel
how that
really
upsets
rich.
me? No, I hate it because I think that I have money. Like,
Yeah.
I sit there and I'm like,
Ooh,
oh, this must be
hello.
like 5 20s. Pull it
Yeah.
up, I'm just like, 1 1 1.
It's horrible, isn't it?
5
Yeah.
1 1. It's a horrible.
You're like, oh, sorry, I'll get dinner, and you've got this big clump of money. You put it down, you're like, well, that's
$6.30.
$6. Yeah.
Like Americans, how do you deal with the ones? Like
Screw
I know
the
there is a
ones.
way you can utilize ones,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's like an everyday occurrence.
It could be.
Maybe that's how.
Maybe that's why there's such
That's
a
where you
booming
put your
business.
ones.
Yeah.
All makes sense. Speaking of dollar bills, though, the money is now in a curious place for Immortals. You've got the hero rifle retained on Steel. He's going to supplement that beautifully.
A couple of PC
Touch of
fillies.
armor.
Go on, treat him. Treat
Nah,
him right. No, they're
nah,
just
no
completely.
faith.
They have no belief in Steel. Not
Get
even a
out of it.
flashbang. Not even one nade. Just
Alex,
to give him a chance.
The
man.
Zeus Julie question. NBK, we've got to follow him. He knows what's up.
Ooh.
Show me what you got, Nathan. This is it. Look at that skin. He's got a skin for them too.
He's the chosen one. He is Neo.
Neo?
I love that scene. They go through the security. Oh. Badass. Slow motion cartwheels may not crop up here on the T side though. Bolts presents his backside to Shox, and he's going to thrive. Couple of bullets dispatched of the SMG. He continues his hunt. He's going to be left rather alone on that B side of the map. You can see that that lane is where Shox will just linger and try and cut these CTs down to size. Chances of him checking this are high, and Henny does fall. Looks like a third could be on the cards, but Steel has the rifle. Not something he anticipated, and KNG's made that CZ sing. Now NBK's down, and another rifle will be retrieved. That's NBK's weapon. That excuse me, it is a Mac 10, not necessarily exactly what the doctor ordered, but it's something.
Could have been Julie's.
Could have been worse.
What do you mean? They're great. Anyway, 2 players now remain. Kill does find Apex. Oh, that's a miss and a half. This is actually happening. Body, Mr. Consistent, normally the man you depend on, does it again. Lucas down. It's KNG, the new boy, coming through this.
There's no way he peaks first.
Such limited HP, and he shouldn't. Why? Why are you? Ooh, what are you doing? Why do you got 2 KNG? Just hold your nerve. Get a little bit of that. I think it was Lucas who pulled off that ridiculous round earlier. Get a little bit of that in you.
That's still a wonderful round. I
Oh,
mean,
it was great considering what they had.
they didn't spend a penny and managed to get it down to a 1 versus 1. The bomb didn't go down, and yeah, it's not the end of the world. But whilst keeping G2's money honest is great, you have to start picking up some CT rounds.
Gone for the double up straight away.
Yeah, let's give G2 a taste of their own CT medicine. Let's have a look how this peak works. And Kenny S meets the trigger of Henny.
Outdone, outgunned.
That's a quick
Beautiful.
click. That is a quick click. And gets the pick. Now, NBK is surely going to have his eyes on Bolts, but again, great restraint and control from the Brazilians. It's fun to watch. These guys, they certainly know how to use the mouse and keyboard.
And look how active they are in hunting these guys down in comparison to how G2 are playing their CT side. You've got a player pushed up in underpass, you've got a player pushed up in toilets. They are way more involved in this. G2 was super passive, and maybe that's just the situation they're in. But still, far better work. And you don't expect Bolts to be just up in the playground, but nicely done there. Good recovery from Immortals. They needed that money to be retained as they did invest that double AWP. Now they can supplement with nice utility and everything they need, and they're in a great spot going forward. Money for Kenny is in 1.4 territories. He's in a real pickle. Shox has got decent money, and as does Body, but that's probably just a couple of pistols, a couple of investments here. Oh, they've gone for the AK? Oh. Ah. Do you think... That's not a topic for now. We'll wait till like 3 games in.
Yeah, save yourself. Because G2 have gone full G2. Didn't quite check their funds. Not going to be prime. Full nades as well. This is not an attempt to cripple the money or take away weapons. This is an attempt to go fast into double AWPs. And
that's not a bad plan. Like, it's really not. They have a smoke execute clearly lined up. 2 smokes, one right now in the hands of Apex, one in the hands of Shox. They put down pretty soon. Yeah, it's just the ones to close sight, basically, to cut that off. But Lucas, there's so many players here, they need to just get up close.
Oh,
that's the big plan. That's a good flash. Hinders 3, allows 1 to siphon through, and that is perfect. Meal time for Steel. He's not gonna miss these. Just stepped away now. MBK, no chance with that CZ
Who
this
threw
time.
that from Graffiti?
It was so well done.
That I've never seen a $200 investment. Or at least, excuse me, today and yesterday we have not seen a $200 investment work that well. That was an easy round for G2 could genuinely have won that with ease should they have got onto the site. Got 1 pick, smokes are out. Those AWPs aren't going to retake. But 1 flashbang just keeps them doing the flashbang dance in Monster, and that's a freebie for Immortals. 12-8 then, as we do see Lucas going for the same peak again, confident. The twin doing what his brother did, this time with an AK, and now he knows it's going to be pistols against him. 1, 2, back turn. Is he going to flip around, you believe? And he does too. Couple of bullets into Apex now, leaves 3 more. And that's going to be the end of the round. Swift dispatch of G2's unarmored bodies. And we see that number getting dangerously close to 16. G2 realize that as well. It's going to be a full rifle buy for them. The nades will be limited, so keep your eyes on that, where those very rare Molotovs will be invested. It looks like they could only have 1 for the take. And the double up so far. Where's KNG been taken? Has he been playing like kind of passive B site? Yeah. Leaving Henny to go aggressive and get some early amount of control.
It's a nice combination they've got there.
What?
This is a good look for Immortals here. This is with still a new player coming in, so we saw a couple of issues with them before, having maybe just a lack of communication, but that is aggression from KNG, and it's that by sheer force, so it doesn't really work out. Shox, too aware, too prepared. I'm getting caught out, but Steel's going to go as well. Oh my word, what's going on? 2 players watching this too. He was maybe just hunting out Shox, hoping that he was the only player here, but no, Body was watching his back over by that coil. And now we're down 3 for Immortals. Kind of a tricky situation considering Henny's only on 27 HP as well.
So then, Henny tagged, but not quite fragged. He's gonna take the fight. There he goes, Lucas. Will start to bring this round back under Immortals' control, but it is by no means going to be easy. This adventure will be slow. Brazilians are under pressure. Henny in particular is going to be caught out on long. His options are so limited. He either waits and tries to come behind them, or walks it through a smoke on long. It's horrible, and Kenny's going to make it even worse. Bolts falls as well. Now both tagged, and surely he's going to be trying to run away from this one. Yeah, it looks like already Henny's accepted this is not the round for him. A slightly different objective, just to try and keep the G2 money low. Because let's not forget, they are on, like, what, $50 in their pocket. Any frags here is huge in the grand scheme of things, and it did. You're right. Look very close to bringing it down to a 3v2, and it's going to be Lucas who does just that.
They have to fall back to this because Lucas got that kill, and
Suddenly they're like, oh, we have to get near that bomb radius.
they're fine, but this actually might save Henny as well. He actually gets away cleanly, so nice timing on that. Shox is still hunting him out.
He's got no money to be doing this.
But if he gets that AWP away, that's a nice recovery.
Ooh, Shox is taking some gambles. He goes all in, and the chips do fall for the Brazilians in that round. 13 then to 9 as G2 come back. Their risk is rewarded.
The money build up on Immortals is still pretty decent. They're still sitting on a buffer even after this reinvestment. Finally see G2 on a good buy though. Fully fledged at this point, Henny. You feeling it?
He wants to peek on the
Yeah,
corner of the
flash
smoke.
again. Ooh, didn't get it that time. Gonna be hard to back away now. He needs some support from underpass, and he's still got it there. Bolt's still locking that down, so they can't pinch in on it quickly. He can now back away towards long, play more default. I like the early impression though. It keeps G2 pretty humble, and that's a big pickup from Bolts. That denies that little kind of cut through they'd like to get to be able to really work on towards that party control.
Just thinking about Henny's smoke there, that was obvious and intentional smoke to leave a gap for the peak. Now, is he counting on players of this caliber just hearing the smoke plume and maybe pushing with more confidence than they otherwise would have? We'll see. It's an interesting one.
You're going to try that smoke?
I 100% am trying that smoke when I get home.
To be fair though, let's be honest, anyone who plays like Face It or
'Cause I'll face
ESEA
it,
at
yeah,
like
that's
3
gonna be
AM,
like,
they're
oh,
gonna
here
be
we
like,
go!
Nah, they'll work that out quicker than
Triple
anything. Like
nade
NBK knows
on
what's
my
up.
face.
You know, those 3 AM players on Face It or ESEA are all just, you know, tier 1
The best.
gods. You can't beat it. That's why NBK's dead now. He's been thinking about it too much. He's like, Immortals, you're the guys that I play at those hours. What am I meant to do? 4v4 though, on the CT side trying to hold their nerve here. Desperate for information or a way to get back into having an advantage. And this Apex gives them one.
That was
Leaping into the
Apex's
loving
corner.
arms.
That was exactly where Apex found himself on the CT side, and he's just got a taste of it. And now they're about to walk into KNG's crosshair. He's been quite quiet with the AWP so far. It's mostly been Henny who chimes in, but when tested, he passes. Beautiful work. Just the tip of Body's head showing, and it's all he needs. Hashtag just the tip. 15 seconds, KNG gets the second. Beautiful work from the Brazilians as they're now ever closer to getting their first win. And I repeat, their first win of the ESL Pro League Finals in Dallas. That is, of course, because their opponents so far have been fierce. SK, who are firing on all cylinders now. They've got Phelps comfortable.
Yeah.
And Fnatic, who have spent much money a day trying to get their chemistry back on track. And now they both look scary.
Yeah, and Fnatic just completely baby dumpstered Cloud9 on Nuke. That's 16-6.
What number are we talking? 66.
Yeah, so Fnatic are looking pretty solid. This really does open up opportunities though for Immortals. I genuinely think, you know, them sitting in the bottom spot right now in groups is not the right display of what they can do. But it's not they can actually, you know, convert that into anything more. We're going to find out. But of course, G2 currently suffering to handle this one. Alex, what are you doing with your hands?
Why'd you have to do that? I'm just having fun.
It looks, oh, you're moving the armrest.
Yeah.
It's just really weird. Alex is just waving his hands around the desk like a little wizard.
Call me out like that. Having some fun, just enjoying your cast. Still, Henny's taking KNG's spot this time. He's been given the responsibility of long, and what I love about this is it may look like he's simply just going to be holding that angle, but his eyes are actually on that jump peak, ready to flick the nearest opportunity. But here comes those Tech-9s, that close fight. Bolt, Molotov to them, and here comes the flash. They're perfectly flashed. This should be good for G2, but it's only going to be the one initially. Body gets one, and here comes the second. Henny's done a great job. With an AWP, close range versus pistols, he takes 2. You can't ask for more than that.
It was a really nice flash kind of explosive hit coming out from G2 there, though. I really like that. And they've allowed to keep two rifles standing. Nice work between Shox and NBK as well. Really looking for these fights, but Steele and Lucas put it all in the hands of Apex here to try and keep his team in this one, or it will be match point to Immortals. Apex has to do this. Smoke goes in. He finds one, but up above, KNG waits, and that's the frag to get to 15. Immortals get themselves on the point they desperately required.
They had so many nades there as well. Molotov, double smoke, and a flashbang if they needed it. Very tough win for Apex, and now their money's limited as well. G2, a very exciting prospect for CS fans across the world. However, currently, another loss is looking imminent. Their buys, I mean, this is probably the 4th, if not 5th time we've seen them go for one of these ones. Admittedly, this could potentially be the last round, and this one is justified, but in the past we have seen them go for these kind of shambolic mid-buys. Oh, they know, yeah, come on. That's like the 9th time you've tried it.
To be fair, that was Kenji and not Henny, so maybe he didn't know what they do there.
Yeah, fair.
The 4 nades would have come through. I think that was
cool.
4. Yeah, that kind of sucks to handle, and I don't think they're going to slow down particularly. So wait for the pace to come through from G2. They just picked it up and run with it. Shock's CC is the thing to keep them going, and there's Kenny swiftly getting to the action. As Henny, you've got a 1v4 on your hands.
That was real quick. They just knew that, okay, so we have pure mid control. It takes probably about 10 seconds to navigate from one side to the other on overpass, if you are deep on monster. And they've got time to just walk up toilets, just take it, close fights with those pistols and thrive. Henny's going to make it a little more costly than it would be. But he's also holding on to an AWP, so I'm not sure if he's particularly wise to be just given some of these unequipped Ts. Another shot at a weapon. This looks like Shock's frag. Henny's going to make a lot of noise, and oh, he's so quick. He's taken 3 bodies down and kept G2 honest, but it will be the 10th. This is weird for the French. He's only got 13 frags. A lot of them have been impact frags, though, especially on the CT side. Yesterday we saw him on Inferno. Very effective there, and he's doing the same, albeit perhaps a smaller scale here on Overpass.
I still feel for KNG in that round. Like, the thing is that Henny knows what they've been doing every round because he's on play, and you highlighted before KNG's more that B player where he's been playing that site, so he's like, oh, I've got the spawn, I'll take it. Henny didn't help him out at all, did he? He didn't give him like a little cheeky bit of advice like, yeah, by the way, mate, just careful about those nades. Nah, have fun. Didn't happen. KNG now going to play way more passive for this, and I prefer this. This could be actually quite a nice way to play, because Henny's not done this instantly, so it's kind of hard then to read back into it, right? So now G2 going to take over long control. That's going to put bolts right into the action. Perfect work on the first, can't adjust well enough to the second, so body excels. And KNG has to respond accordingly.
There's a lot riding on this for both sides. Let's not forget, Immortals' chances of actually continuing in this tournament are limited, if not completely hindered, by conceding this loss. And that boost relies entirely on a close range. There's an AWP beneath him. That does not favor KNG in any way. But he gets it anyway! One! Lucas is going to get another! Kenny's short to follow, though, with a trade on the Tech 9, and now we're into a 2 versus 2. High-octane action there as it goes from nothing to everything in a split second. Okay, Henny. It's a perfect angle, just in the nick of time, and he gets them both! What a way to end it! That lineup is unreal. I was talking about Collatz. And just as they cross, his eyes are there. Filth.
Was that
Filth from
3
Henny.
throughout this tournament so far?
Yes.
3 games, 3 collaterals.
3 games, 3 Collatz.